The Glastonbury Grail, The Light of the World, a fairy tale from Avalon, written by the naughty gnome of Wag Drove, completed at Beltane in May 2005 and presented at the White Hart Royal Somerton on the 5th of May 2005. White Solar Wind on the 555 by White Planetary Mirror, Galactic Activation Portal, Kin 220. Zodiac sign Taurus. Arthurian title Sir Hector, Protector of King Arthur and the Secrets of the Holy Grail. From the spirit of unity comes the unicorn. From the spirit of unity comes the holy thorn. To the Grail healer. The fairy realm also bestows its gifts with symbols and picture glyphs. The serpent, dragon and snake awaken and reactivate within the wheel of Ceridwen. The spider in its web awaits. The wheel turns, the spider spins and synchronizes openings of the Stargate, where the Grail healer of Avalon looks up from the earth he stands upon, the girt dog that wags its tail at the entrance to the Holy Grail. Welcome to Wag by Hewish Episcopi in the Shire of Somerset. Before listening to this saga, please be aware that this little book that has been written by my alter ego and constant companion, the naughty gnome, has been based on a mixture of factual, intuitive, historical, logical, synchronic and magical information, and stems from a heartfelt desire by him to lend a hand to fellow questers in their search for truth. May it stimulate your imagination and let you fly free to find your own pathway to the truth. I sincerely hope so. Let us all give thanks to the true genius of the few, St. Joseph of Arimathea and his blood brother Yeshua, known to most people as Jesus, and some of Avalon's more recent children of the light. I am another yourself. It is assumed that those listening to this have a rudimentary knowledge of the Glastonbury Zodiac or Star Temple. If, however, you need more basic geographical information regarding the various signs and their locations, please contact me and I can let you know the books you require. Likewise, anyone who has any rare and interesting Zodiac stories, legends, photographs, illustrations or material, please come forward. Between us, we now have a large group that can now take this mission and information into the mainstream consciousness of humanity. Then we'll all be smiling. We can all network the awakening, reverse the one ring for the higher good, regain your fairy intuition. Before listening to this saga from Middle-earth, please ask yourself to intuit the truth. Sit quietly, possibly with a view of Glastonbury tour, either photographic or in reality, together with any objects or a talisman that connect you to this sacred land. Hold out your left hand to receive the message you have been asking for. Connect yourself in this way to the unified global mind of infinite possibilities. Taking a glass of Glastonbury waters, mixed red and white spring, is also beneficial. Use a special cup, engraved glass, goblet or chalice. Star Child Apothecary of Glastonbury also stock a range of authentic Glastonbury incense, many produced with original Glastonbury recipes using local and indigenous herbs, oils and resins, which are also recommended to help us establish our timeless connections with Glastonbury and Avalon. If you work in the spiritual way with guides, please invite them to be present, especially if they have Avalon connections. Here is a wonderful and magical list of characters you might also like to consider. Like you, they are all involved in the story of this planet and help to shape our reality. They are still there to help us. The Keeper of the Grail, St. Joseph of Arimathea. The Master Jesus. St. Germain, Merlin, Mother Mary, Noah, Kuan Yin, Gandhi, Muhammad, Thoth, Helen of Troy, Confucius, Father Abraham, Joan of Arc, Lao Tse, John the Baptist, Babaji, Sitting Bull, St. Edmund, Dwal Kul, King Arthur, Yahweh, Aaron, Sir Isaac Newton, Geronimo, Admiral Lord Horatio Nelson, Ganesh, Dr. John Dee, Dionysius, St. George, Zadok, Roger Bacon, Leonardo da Vinci, King Alfred the Great and his brother, King Ethelred, Pharaoh Akhenaten, Bilbo Baggins, Athena, Mrs. Catherine E. Mortwood, Taliesin, St. Colin, Bonnie Prince Charlie, Elizabeth Leader, Paco Votan, Morgana, Osiris, Apollo, Thomas à Becket, Abbot Richard Whiting, Shiva, Wise King Solomon, Hermes, St. Alban, Enoch, Dion Fortune, St. Gildas, and St. Edmund, Madame Helena Blavatsky, Sir Thomas More, Serapis Bey, Edgar Casey, White Buffalo Calf Woman, Nostradamus, William Blake, Lewis Carroll, King Pallas, Mozart, Plato, Melchizedek, Hermes, Gandalf, Alexander the Great, St. Cuthbert, Jacob, Robin Hood, Elijah, the Duke of Monmouth, Ra, Socrates, Mary Queen of Scots, the Queen of Sheba, Omar Khayyam, Pythagoras, Isis, St. Dunstan, Charlemagne, Lord Krishna, Father Joseph, your ancestors and children, Hugh de Payen, St. David, Cochise, Orpheus, Elmira, King James I, Charles I and Charles II of the Royal House of Stuart, Mother Teresa, Zoroastra, Buddha, Samuel the Prophet, Aristotle, Dante Alighieri, St. Bridget, Mary Magdalene, Jacques de Molay, Queen Elizabeth I, the Fairy Queen, Rama, King David of the House of David, your mother, father and grandparents, the Pixie Roy, St. Patrick, Paracelsus, Francis Bacon, Nefertiti, Moses, Bob Marley, St. Catherine, St. Francis of Assisi, Horus, the Master Katumi, Archangels Michael, Uriel, Raphael and Gabriel, and Lord Enki, E.A. I expect you can think of more. Please invite them to come along and join you on your personal journey of transformation to Avalon. Light a candle in remembrance of all your ancestors, and please be aware of your sacred breath. It is your connection to Source, and now Middle Earth awaits you. Part 1. Cerberus in Somerset, Anubis in Avalon, and the Fellowship of the Grail. Chapter 1. Once upon a time, way back in midsummer of 1996, I, along with a naughty gnome, moved into the atmospheric apple loft belonging to my partner Susan, adjacent to a beautiful little orchard in Wag Drove, Wag, near Hewish Episcopi, Somersetshire. By September, Susan had given birth to our son Jacob, a truly wonderful occasion. During that 2-month period of initiation in Avalon, something else was birthed. A growing personal awareness and a cascade of stunning new information which came to me from all directions. Looking back over the years to those early days, I am able to trace a definite line and order of information, but now, nearly a decade later, I feel moved to put pen to paper in the hope that humanity may gain some benefit from the unusual insights I have been given, since discovering that Susan, Jacob and myself were living on the tail of an animal which has been